That's strange. It looks like the left side is... He's going to resize. Good call. Anyway, Silver Spawn, since you submitted this kingdom, we're going to take a look at it. Maybe perhaps while Steph is resizing the window, you'd like to say a couple of words about what you found interesting about this board?
Yeah, I was trying to remember that because I submitted it like a month ago or something. And I just replayed it like while Steph was playing the first game. And I'm not sure if it's as interesting as I initially thought. Because when I played it against Rabbit in a pro match. Then we did all sorts of things with Silk Road and Feodum, but I don't actually think that was good. I think if you play it like optimally, then you probably do a simpler plan. Okay, you definitely want Wharf and Shantytowns, and you probably want to open Wishing Well and remake, I think.
So, given that Soothsayer is a junking attack, I mean, there is strong enough trashing. Do you just ignore Soothsayer?
I think you ignore it. Like when I played the game initially, I bought one at some point, and Rabbit didn't buy any.
I mean, gold game.
I think you can afford to get one at some point, just for the gold.
Yeah, the curse doesn't really too much.
The curse is pretty meaningless. I mean, they might get stuck with like a point. So if it's a close game, it might matter if you end the game after giving them a curse. But
yeah, if you don't have a gold in your deck, and then you don't have a Soothsayer, and you're looking for 2 more uniques for Fairgrounds, it could be a tactical play.
Yeah, maybe. So that's pretty good hand that Steph has now.
So, so how do you feel about going for a Fathom-based strategy? Remake Fathom into lots of 5s, lots of silvers?
Well, that's like what we did, but I actually don't think it's good. I think you want maybe some Fathom at some point just to get silvers, but I don't think you want to make it your primary source of points.
Well, I've always said that if you're going for Fathom, you can't go for just Fathom. Usually Fathom decks have lots of silver so they can get provinces as well.
That's true, yeah. But I think you just want silvers here, but I'm not sure.
I see. So looks like both.
I mean, if you're already drawing your deck, and you have a chance to pick up a loose 4, maybe you take 1 to remake it immediately. But
yes, exactly, and you can remake it into a 5, which is really good.
Right. It seems that both Yed and Steph have trashed 2 estates with their remake on turn 3.
Yeah.
And so they have the same draw, but Yed chose to get Shantytown and Silver, and then buy Wishing Well, and Steph just wants 3 Wishing Wells, which, I mean, we expect this of Steph, right? I mean, check out his avatar.
Steph loves Wishing Well.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's the right play, actually, to go all out in Wishing Wells.
Yeah, but if your name is Steph, though, and I believe this is written into the code at GoCo, if your username is Steph, Wishing Well just reads +1 action, +2 cards. There's no other text on the card. That's all you get,
Then it's really good.
And that, for $3, that's OP, It's a pretty good card.
It's that Steph magic. It's unfair. Of course, Steph has accused me of forcing my opponents to play big money against my engines or something. Like I hypnotize them.
He failed with Wishing Well.
He did.
He
Twice
has,
in a row.
He got all those Wishing Wells, and they.
Yeah, but he made the right choice every time. I think Copper was the most likely option.
Oh yeah, sure.
He didn't do anything wrong here.
No, but it's funny.
Yeah, it's funny.
Assemble with Me says, well, 3 of them. Yeah, puns straight from my heart. Well played, sir. Get it? Well played.
That's pretty bad, I think. If he plays remake, then he can't buy 5.
Maybe he's going for the Fathom, yeah? I mean,
right,
that's actually good here.
Yeah, I think that's the right choice because he can remake it into a 5 next turn.
JSH says he planned those misses, he's timing the reshuffle, and that's why he had this brilliant hand that he's got now, yeah?
Yeah, but honestly, I think he's actually behind at this point.
Yeah, that turn was pretty unlucky. He's probably back in pace about a turn. It could have been much better. And Yed's already got a wharf, yeah?
Yeah, I actually think the focus should be more on wharfs and shanty towns because wharf is just insanely overpowered and Vision Well is not.
True. So Shantytown and Wharf. I mean, with Wharf, you really want a village so you can get as many in play as you can, right? Shantytown's the only village.
Yeah, it's a bad village, but Wharf is so strong that it's still really good.
Sure.
Even with a bad village.
On a Wharf board, you would buy $3 necropolises for sure.
I mean, here's the thing though. You're gonna get the wharf of it. Steph's gonna have a wharf in his deck. I guarantee it. All right, but you don't need to play a bunch of wars. You really just want to have a little bit of extra buy and the draw to kick off your next turn. So you don't have to have 6 wharves in play.
So you would go for stables instead of wharf.
You can. Well, Steph already has 1,000 wishing wells, so it looks more like that. But you can do stables some.
I mean,
wishing wells aren't very good. They're gonna get worse.
Yeah, I was just about to say, Wishing Well and Fairgrounds, there's anti-synergy there.
Yeah.
And you have to draw your cards. I mean, a deck that draws a lot of cards has to be better than a deck that doesn't, even on this board. When you're tempted to play a slog.
You will get stables. So yes, to answer that question, I think stables can work.
It's better than Wharf? I'm not sure.
Well, Wharf isn't drawing as much if you're having to play shanty towns to activate them.
Okay, so here's a question, and I don't know the answer to this question, that's why I'm asking it. But, I mean, is there any way that you can try and create your deck so that you can actually get some draw out of your shanty towns? Or do you think that's just not going to work?
Not with the remakes in there. You can't.
Yeah. You will get it sometimes, but not.
Yeah, you can't
enough.
have terminal free hands very often.
I mean, theoretically, you could try to trigger it with Embassy, but that's not gonna work.
Yeah, theoretically,
it doesn't help you at all to do it.
True. So Steph's hovering his cursor over Wharf and Stables. He's probably thinking to himself, like, what do you do here? Like, when do you get Stables? When do you get Wharf? Which ones do you want?
I would say you definitely want at least 2 Wharfs. You want to have a Wharf in play every turn.
I tend to agree.
Yeah, you definitely want at least 2. I think you want more, but maybe you want just 2 and then Stables. But I just really don't like the focus on Wishing Wells. I don't know.
I agree with you. I would have taken more silvers and probably shanty towns.
Yeah, at least one.
But he is getting lab effects out of them fairly often.
Yeah, maybe like every second one. But they're gonna get worse, not better as they can focus.
This is true.
JSH says he's probably thinking, I wonder what ice cream I'm gonna eat later on. A lot of times when I'm playing Dominion, I legitimately do think about this, and I'm not just making that up. So Steph has three terminals in his deck. 2 Warbs, 1 Remake. And he does have a single Shantytown, it looks like.
Yes.
Single Shantytown, okay.
But
2 Warbs is 1 terminal, of course.
Yes, exactly. That's what I wanted to say. You have to treat it as 1 terminal.
Yeah. But at this point, like, getting any cards off of playing Shantytown just seems like it would only happen because you were very lucky, yeah?
Yeah.
Of course, you can make wishes for your Wishing Well. Like, let's say he's got 1 Wishing Well and a Shantytown in hand. You know, he could time his second wish so that he doesn't wish for an action card to enable his Shantytown draw. I mean, there are lots of...
Yeah, but only if he has 1 Wishing Well and a Shantytown in hand, which is probably not going to happen at all.
True. It's a thing that could come up.
Yeah, it could. It definitely could.
It might even come up this turn.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned it.
It might.
Except
I'm not sure what the 2
those...
cards are that he's going to draw with the Dwarf.
Well, it's not... He had the remake in the last turn, right?
Yes, it's not remake.
So it's not a terminal, but he is going to see at least 2 more cards in his reshuffle.
That's yeah. He doesn't get a free wishing well.
Oh.
Because
He's got
he
two
draws
shanty
those two.
towns.
Oh yeah,
So there
That's
is a
true.
legitimate
Forget
chance
one.
that you could draw off one of them.
yeah. If
And now those chances
Nope.
are over.
oh, could still happen. Okay, now it can't. That's too bad.
Well, it looks like he'll draw his.
So I think
come
there's at
pretty
least one
close.
wishing well. Oh yeah, there it is. One more wishing well in the draw file.
Or one more silver.
I think they have 5 wells each, correct? I think I saw
think
Yed
Steph
play
has
5
more.
last turn.
Okay, then we have both 5.
JSH says, the way Adam reads the chat reminds me of how they read tweets on the news now. Like, and now it's time for our Twitter report. Hashtag Aunt Jemima is trending. Mother Teresa 420, 420 really? Check out my syrupy hashtag Aunt Jemima fanfic. Would you believe I haven't watched the news in like several years?
Who watches the
I
news?
believe this.
Apparently JSH does. Hashtag Adam reads chat. That's why they pay me the big bucks.
So what do you remake here?
Just get more fiat on. No, I don't know.
I think you just get rid of 2 cobras, but I'm not sure. Depends on what he's gonna buy.
Does he want
of
to
course-
use stables as a main source of draw?
how much money is he gonna have here? 10. Yeah. So
But right
do
now
you
he's
want-
using wishing well as the main source of draw.
Yeah, you know, drawing cards is pretty good.
Yeah, but the wishing wells don't draw that many cards. I think he has like less than 50% like success with wishing wells so far.
And then, I mean, what are you going to remake, and then also, what are you going to buy? There's some talk in the chat about buying 2 wharves, which, you know, you can't do with remaking Copper.
So Steph's going for the heavier wharf thing. it
Yeah, I
looks
think
like.
it's the right choice. Otherwise, it's what I would have done.
So even if you're going for a deck that uses Wharf as its primary source of draw, there's something inside of me that says maybe you want to pick up Stables earlier. Or when is Stables ever going to be good in that kind of a deck?
It's not. You want Embassy at some point, I think, one.
As
But I
another
don't think
unique
that's
for your
it.
fairgrounds, and that's it.
I don't think you want an embassy here. I don't think it does much of anything for you.
I think maybe like if it turns into a slog with fairgrounds, I mean, you know, it could be good then, but that's going to be a long time from now.
I'm not even sure if you go Fairgrounds here.
You can empty the provinces here pretty easily.
Leopold
I think so
says
too. I don't think Fairgrounds are the right thing here.
Leopold says stables are good when there are no more wharves.
I'm not so sure. The wharf draw is not as much when you have to use a Necropolis to play them.
I mean,
it's still nets.
It's net
Still
3.
nets 3 cards, right? Yes. So it's
Yeah.
as good as the Smithy is if you use it with a real village. It's still pretty good.
Well, it's a net 3 every other turn. It's not.
Yeah, that's true. You need twice
it's
as
not
many.
the same. It's net 3 over 2 turns.
I'd be
which is
Yet just drew with the Shantytown 2 cards in this turn.
There you go. Yeah.
That's-
I mean, I'd be very tempted to build a deck here that only has a couple wharfs and relies on stables and then play a slog, and of course I'd probably lose.
Well, maybe I'm biased because I'm really bad with stairs. So that might just be the reason.
His wishing wells are becoming sadder now.
Yeah.
Well, he should be able to draw his deck this turn.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I guess he could draw a remake and not. Well, he can still draw his deck this turn. Yeah.
It's not guaranteed though. I don't think. He's got a wharf and a remake and what left? A copper? Does he have a copper?
I don't think so.
Now it's guaranteed anyway.
Probably not.
So do you legitimately start to worry about
He
piles
does
at this
have
point?
1 copper.
5 wards,
No, not yet.
4 shantytowns left. I don't see any remake shenanigans that can be used to empty piles without good economy.
No.
There
no.
was a copper people. The people in the chat are saying
Oh, yeah.
there's copper.
There was a cover. Right, he had 2 earlier. So I'm not sure if you get a if you get Soothsayer now, you might want to get it. But I mean, he's drawing his deck now, so if he buys more buffs, then that's inefficient.
He is doing the Fiat.
You know,
Yeah.
I actually do like Fatum play. I mean, it's a great way to get a lot of economy in your deck really fast. At this point,
Yeah, but
he could
don't
play.
vote him for points. Just
Right.
turn him into...
But at this point, he could conceivably just start playing a slog.
All right, there's a stables.
No, don't. Oh. I
It
was really
seems-
hoping he would not buy any staves this game. No, sad.
And he remade a shantytown and rebought it instead
Yeah.
of doing that same thing to a silver, is what I'm saying. So he consciously lowered that pile, and he does have 1 Fatum in his deck. Granted, he's not going to empty piles this turn, but can we read anything into that as to his intentions?
I wasn't really
Get a
listening
faster
to what you
pile, I
said.
don't know.
Nice.
You can, if you add another remake to your deck, you can empty the piles pretty quickly here.
Yeah, but if you add another remake to your deck, then your opponent knows that you're planning
Yeah,
to empty piles.
but it still gives you the flexibility.
Okay. But do you think it's worth it? I'm not
I
sure.
don't know. I'm not sure.
Hey, Ariette is gonna draw with the second Shantytown again. It's the second time this game.
You make your own shuffle luck.
Yeah, Steph hasn't done it even once. Ariette is so much better at this game.
Well, I mean, he's ahead in the rankings even after being down 1-0 in the match. Still ahead.
Yeah. He's clearly playing much better.
Yeah.
Okay, what is he buying now?
Somebody in the chat said something about Silk Roads, which are worth 0 points for everybody. And will be worth no more than like 1 or 2 at best. Ever.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We emptied Silk Roads and Feodoms, I think. When
Did
I
you?
initially played it. But I think it was really bad. So,
It's really easy to outscore that kind of thing because it doesn't. It's just like gaining very
I think
few points.
I was
that-
only going Silk Roads because he did it, and I know that I was ahead. So I thought if I do the exact same thing that he does, and I'm ahead, then I win for sure.
Yeah. Did you win?
Yes.
Oh, then that's all that matters.
Yeah. So like he can't just buy Dwarfs and Stables now because he's already drawing his deck. So it's again not efficient. So he needs to buy something that's economy now. He could buy Soothsayer or Feodom.
I haven't actually checked. Are there fairgrounds to 10 or not quite? Or, yeah, fairgrounds to 4 points, I mean.
If Steph bought a
What?
Fairgrounds right now, he'd have 9 uniques.
Okay.
And that includes the Fatum, which he likely plans on trashing immediately.
Yeah. But he can, when he dresses Feodom, he can get in 5 that he doesn't have. Then he has 9 uniques again.
Right. He could pick up a Soothsayer.
An
That's
Embassy.
so good, yeah.
Or a Duchy.
Hey, that could be pretty good.
No, it would be pretty terrible.
If he's gonna end the game that turn, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a little too early for that.
Hey, getting 3 points out of a duchy is better than powering up your 0 Fairgrounds by 2 points each.
Yeah,
See, look now, Silver Spawn. Don't you wish you had 2 remakes in your deck? And then,
Maybe.
boom. Then the game, you just end it.
He can
Can you
remake into
explain
more
what-
remakes.
Can you explain what Yet was just doing? It seems really
I have-
weird. He just
I
was
have
shanty
no
towns.
idea. I don't have a clue why you'd get that many shanty towns.
I mean, how many does
Just
Steph
for
have
the-
right now?
How many shanty towns?
Yeah.
You mean? I don't know. My guess is 4, but I didn't count. I'm
Maybe
pretty sure he
he's-
doesn't have 5.
He could be trying to deny the shanty towns.
All right, that's one wishing well
Nah.
lab.
You don't have to block pick shanty towns.
Titan Drake is backing me up here in the chat. He says the more he thinks about the remake Fatum into Silk Road, the more he wants to see it played. Remake Fatum into Duchy gives you fuel. Maybe this remake Fatum, there's something to it. Even
you can't put all that green stuff in and draw your deck. It's not.
right.
Yeah.
So he's saying don't try and draw your deck.
Yeah, you'll lose badly.
You mean even if you get to a point like this where you thin down, you start to draw, and then you use that as the payload? You
The
still
game
think
ends.
Yes.
Like
Well,
the game
it's not
ends
working.
before you can do that, and you can also outscore that by just getting provinces or fairgrounds
Yeah.
or whatever. Like that doesn't give you points very quickly, and it chokes. So I don't see it.
all right.
But anyways, I think Steph can probably end the game next turn if he.
He almost can end it this time, but not quite.
He
Could-
couldn't do it. He needed too
Yeah.
many. He didn't have enough $3 targets.
He could have remaked Shantytown and Wishing Well into a remake and a Feodom, and then remaked again Silvers, but it wouldn't have been quite enough.
Yeah.
But he can probably do it next
He
time.
would have had $8 that way.
Can he empty the wharves?
No.
He's got $6, $12, $14 in his deck.
I think he just buys a little bit of green now, and then ends next turn. Oh, look how he discarded silver so that he has a free Wishing Well target now. That was really cute.
Ooh.
Of course, it matters not at all. But
Yeah, in this case it doesn't matter, but still was cute.
He's showing off.
Now the hardest decision is if you place the Shantytown. He didn't play it.
yeah, I'm not really following the Shantytown rush by yet. But
So how many Shantytowns does he have? He has only 3. So Yet has 7 for some reason.
well, at least
That's
one
not-
got remade.
Oh yeah, there's one in the trash.
Oh yeah, okay, then he has 6. If one got remade or 5. Oh, I really hope he doesn't buy gold. I think buying gold would be really bad here.
I think you could take Province Stables. Would be just fine.
Yeah.
and
It's probably
should be
stable
able to
sounds right.
should be able to end it the next game, next turn. I
You
think.
definitely shouldn't buy any more wars now, because then it's
If you buy Province Stables this turn, how do you end the game next turn?
On Fiatum.
probably yes.
Remake 2 silvers into Fiat.
Or even 2
You
silvers
have-
into 1
you have
field and another
Shantytown.
remake, and then
Yeah.
you can.
Yeah, you'd have to
Remake 3.
remake other things, not your
You don't
silvers.
have to remake Silver, but you can remake Shantytowns or Wishing Wells.
Yeah, you need to make sure you have $12 in your deck to buy the last.
No, you
3
can-
Fiat.
You can remake 2 trees into a Feodom remake, and then remake another 2 trees into 2 Feodoms, and then you just have to have 8 coins.
Yeah, infinite combo as long as you can draw and have
As long as you
Right.
can draw
silvers. Yeah.
So probably not more than once.
There are again various ways to empty the piles.
Yeah, but he's really far ahead now.
Yed doesn't really have money, does he? I guess
Yeah.
a little bit.
He has Shantytowns. Maybe he knows something that we don't, but I doubt it.
He has $10 and Shantytowns.
Lots of Shantytowns. But he has only 1 remake, so what's he really gonna do with that?
Nothing. That's
Yes.
the answer.
Mark of Keta is saying a way you could play this board: remake a Fatum and Silver into Fatum and Stables each turn, and then buy a Stables and something every round.
Yeah, you can do something like that. That's basically what Steph has done.
Yes,
But it's not what they're thinking. Where you beef up Fiadoms, the game ends. Before you get anywhere. I guess. I would have taken
I think
the province.
he was doing math and like was trying to figure out if Viet can win end game. And then
Yeah, right. I guess he just isn't worried at all about the.
yeah, if he's certain that he can't end the game, then it's okay what he's doing. Like now, because there's so many shanty towns, they aren't doing anything. 2 of those shanty towns didn't draw.
He's gonna sneak a diadem into his deck.
Sneak what into his deck?
A diadem.
Yeah, pull that out of the black market.
Yeah. First you need to like get the black market into the kingdom and then he has to remodel a province and then play a tournament in the same turn and then get the diamond.
It's no problem.
So he's already played the remake and he didn't get a second remake, so there's no way he can end now.
Well,
So to answer Leopold's question, Silverspawn actually already answered this, but it was just because Yed didn't pose any threat to end the game, so he can just build consistency to guarantee his next turn is not dead.
Yeah.
He could be thinking about doing that remake into remake and Fatum.
He's just gonna end the game now. That's really easy.
Getting a province does nothing for him, basically.
Yeah, he doesn't have to. And Yet even bought a Feodum, so now it's really, really easy. You just remake 2 silvers or 2 wishing wells or whatever and buy the other 2 and he wins. Because Yet has only 1 point. Yeah.
I guess that Markov.
He doesn't need to do anything else. He has enough money in his hand.
Yeah. I don't know what Markov is saying in the chat, but well, you'd rather have the stables because his deck was already to Leopold. You'd rather have the stables because his deck already had the economy to end it. He didn't need to add remakes necessarily.
So it looks like he might be trying to do that combo: play Shantytown, play remake. Of course, he's not going to have actions for it, so he's just cashing it now.
He's just going to buy them out because he
Yes.
has the money. It doesn't.
Now I would buy 3 curses if I was Steph, but no. That's so uncool.
I'm not sure exactly what Markov was suggesting in the chat, but it's one thing to sort of imagine playing a stables and remaking stuff, and it's another thing to build the deck. I think Steph played it really well.
So Yet is saying that he shouldn't have bought the last Feodum because it made it easier for Steph to reply, and Steph is saying that he could have done it anyway.
Right.
It's true.
You shouldn't have done this by the last 3 shantytowns.
Yes.
Seems about right.
Yes, I get that, Markov, and I'm saying that when you talk about playing a game generally, it does not mean very much because the shuffles determine how you